do it on Thursday, she said. Got Thursday off, she said. I'll have plenty of time to do it. Hi, everybody. Sorry, like you heard, I was going to do it Thursday. That didn't happen. So I'm doing it in the bit of time I have before I have to go to work today. So, new blog, new format. We're going to try and do this right. So, back to the transitions, which means first topic is... It's actually a weird week to start talking about this, given that one of the things that I'm doing to help get myself back into shape has actually been canceled for like the past week and a half. I've started taking a modern dance class with a guy that I know because he did the choreography for the musical that I was in. And so it's a lot of fun, but my teacher's sick. So he canceled. It's Mondays and Fridays, so he canceled on Monday and he canceled this past Friday, yesterday. And then Monday is a holiday, so we don't have class. So what I'm hoping to do, however, is in addition to taking the class, I have a Wii, which you can't see because it's over there. But I have a Wii, and I have like some exercise stuff. I've got a Biggest Loser thing. I've got a Zumba game, which is actually a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to getting back into it. But I'm hoping that if nothing else, I can do dance on Monday and Friday, and then I can do Zumba on Wednesday, and then try and do some other stuff on the days that are not Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But 3 days a week is better than no days a week. And no days a week is basically what I'm getting. I did take a couple walks around my neighborhood yesterday because it's been really nice and really warm. So I'm trying to get out and be active and get walking and stuff, especially since the vast majority of where I live, at least in the main area of the town, is fairly flat. It makes for good walking. I would ride my bike if I had a bike. But, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. So you know the game plan. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is what I'm shooting for. We'll see how well that happens. I mean, obviously next week I won't be able to, so maybe since I have Monday off, I'll try and do something on Monday instead of dance. So, should have enough time given that I have the whole day off, though we all know how that works. But that's the game plan. My weight is way the hell too high right now. So what I will do is when I hit a good landmark, I will tell you all where I am. Also, I don't remember off the top of my head, so I'll weigh myself on Monday. We'll see where I stand. So, that's where that goes. So now you know the game plan. I am getting back into it. That's happening. So, which moves me to our next topic. As you all know, I started out doing this vlogging stuff for NaNoWriMo, which is November. However, the Office of Letters and Light has started doing a program in the summer called Camp NaNoWriMo. It runs June and August. And this June I've actually picked up something. It's not going to be a serious book project, but it's taking the world that someone else has started writing, a friend of mine by the name of Lynn Thornalder. I'm taking the world in which Lynn's books live. She's given me a canon character, but I don't need to. I'm trying to help her create the world, well, not the world, but the timeline that my character then lives through. And so she's allowed that, excuse me, I can take my character and plot out her life in the world of Lynn's creation. So, that's super cool. And that's what I'm going to do in June. I'm going to take my character and what I have her doing, and with Lynn's help, give her her canon timeline, because Lynn has allowed that she will be canon, which is super cool. So that's what I'm excited to do. It will get me back into the flow of writing, and that's super exciting. In the books that I've been working on that you've been hearing about, my NaNoWriMo project from 2009, I had to check my little winner certificates there. My book from 2009 is the closest of any of them to being published. I have actually sent out a couple query letters. Out of the 4 I think I've sent, I've gotten 1 answer back, which was a rejection. I'm personally happy about the rejection. It means somebody read it, and starts me on the path of being a real author. So, There are a few edits I want to make to the actual text itself, things that, with some changes that I made, it now no longer reads well, so I'm going to go back in, fix those up, get myself a good PDF, try and write a synopsis so that I can continue sending out query letters, but I am looking into self-publishing as well. So, one way or the other, hopefully by the end of 2012. Now, I'm going to be sending out query letters throughout all of this, but I'm not going to say that if I haven't heard back from someone by the end of 2012, I'm going to self-publish, because I don't think that's a fair enough estimate, but that's sort of what I'm shooting for. I want to be able to, if I get a compelling argument to self-publish, if by, my birthday or Christmas of 2012, someone says, this is a really good book, this is how you can market it effectively, why don't you just self-publish, then I'm going to self-publish. That's fine. I would like a traditional publishing deal. I think the book is good enough for one. I'm having trouble figuring out what I should market it as, but that's what I'm working on right now. So, that's where that stands. But I did promise you something else, so I'm going to give it its own little transition into the new part of what I'm going to talk about here on the blog. Section number 3, which is something new I'm starting, is I'm going to try reviewing books. Now, for anyone who was following my video game reviews, you know that I'm not the most critical of people, but because I'm reviewing it not from like a literary standpoint, I don't think I have the credentials to do that, but I can tell if something is well written or not. I can tell if the story is compelling. I can tell if the characters are developed well enough. That's what I did my degree on. So I'm giving you, my opinion, my viewpoint. This is an editorial column, as it were, but I'm reviewing a new book that I read by an author named Lia Habel. She's a brilliantly talented person, actually from my hometown, which is super cool. I've actually met Lia in person. She's a lovely individual. But her first book came out a while ago now. But it's called Dearly Departed. Dearly, departed. And it's an interesting topic. I wasn't going to buy the book at first, because a friend of mine said, we're having a book signing. It's a younger author from around here. You should come see it. She writes young adult fiction, which is sort of the genre that I had started out in. I was like, oh, really? What's the book about? And they went, well, here's the article that was in the paper. You should read it. So I'm reading it, and it's a romance novel about zombies. Like, zombies? Zombies are not so much my thing. But, fellow YA author here in the town, I should support. So I bought the book, I came to the signing, and I'm really glad I did. I got a chance to talk to Lia. We talked about zombies, we talked about vampires, we talked about video games, we talked about writing in a small town, we talked about how she got published. It was a fabulous chance to get and connect with her. I've since been to a couple more of her events. I've talked to her, we talk on Twitter. One of these days I'm going to take her for coffee. But it's an excellent book, and I'm really glad I picked it up, because it was literally, I picked it up, I started reading, I got distracted by life, I had to set it down for a while. Once I came back to it, and, got past the second chapter or what have you, I couldn't put it down. I was literally like, everything else went on hold in my life, because I had to read this book. The main character's name is Nora Dearly. It takes place, it's very steampunk. It takes place in a world called Neo-Victoria. It's all very, there's been this huge ice age or some such. Everybody's ended up living in South America, I think. And there are two basic factions of people, the Neo-Victorians, which have basically decided that the Victorian era of England was the best and golden age, and so they have reverted back to that, but with more modern and postmodern technology. And the others are called the punks, who basically decide all your technology is crap. And they're the traditional sort of steampunk, as it were, as opposed to cyberpunk, which is much more the Neo-Victorians. And they're at war, and they're fighting each other, and they don't like whatnot. But there is this third faction that we find out about, and that's where the zombies come in. And I'm not going to give away too much of the plot, because as soon as I start going into plot, I'm going to start giving things away. But the main zombie we meet, his name is Bram. Bram is a soldier. Nora is a neo... Bram is a... No. Yes. Doesn't matter. I think I almost just gave it away. But, you know, Bram comes from a totally different world of Nora, but they end up together through means that I will not spoil. It is fabulously written, and it's a compelling story. All of the characters, you know, really get in-depth with each and every one of them. The viewpoint of the book doesn't stay static. It's an active viewpoint, so, you know, some chapters would be from Nora's perspective, some will be from Bram's, some will be from other people's, like one of Nora's friends that we meet from school. It's this fascinating read. It's really difficult for me to really talk about it without spoiling all sorts of things about it, but it's clear Lia's done a lot of research into the characters and into how her zombies came to be, how they deal with them, and then, of course, continuing on with the story, and makes for a lovely little romance that is more believable than I ever thought possible. The sequel, Dearly Departed, just came out. My screen just went dim. Well, it didn't just come out, excuse me. She just sent it off to continue the process, and so I think sometime this fall, I want to say, Dearly Beloved, rather, is the sequel. Dearly Departed is the first one. Dearly Beloved is the sequel. Should be coming out. I'm exceptionally excited. I applied for an advanced reader's copy. I don't think I'm going to get one, but I applied for one nonetheless. I would love to read it as soon as I possibly can get my hands on it. But if you have a chance, Lia Habel, Dearly Departed, I will put a link to her website down there. I know you can buy it on the Kindle and the Nook and any of those. So if you have an ebook reader, go get Dearly Departed. I mean, and don't let the fact that it's young adult fiction dissuade you. It very much walks the line between, you know, where we define YA and where we define it's adult fiction. I mean, I've read it. I gave it to my mom. My mom read it. My dad is now reading it. Dad's going to put out a review that's probably 600 times better than mine. But very well thought out, well-written characters, fabulous dialogue. I mean, Bram is one of the funniest characters I've ever run into in a very long time. I can't say enough good things about this. So go out, support Lia, buy the book, and then wait for Dearly Beloved with me, because I am so excited to see it. So, that's my review, as it were. I wish I could show you the book, but as my dad's reading it, so I don't actually have it in my room. But I'll link below and you can do all that good stuff. So, that's what I'm going to try and do. 3 sections. I haven't had a lot of chance to read recently, but I am working on a new book. It's not YA. It's actually part of a series that I've been recommended to by a friend of mine. So as I get further in that's what will go there. I will update you, and then at the end I will give you, hopefully, a slightly more proper review, but you know me, proper. But, so, that's the new setup. Hope you'll all follow along as I attempt to do all of this crazy stuff. You'll probably hear bits and pieces about other projects I have going on. You never know. So, that's where we be. I hope you've all enjoyed. I know it's a little late, but I hope you'll all hang in with me. And I will see you all next week.